Is it like FileMaker, except it's on online version?
It's a database. So in the sense, it is like FileMaker, except it's specifically designed for client relationships. It's already got all the templates, everything already set up. Like for instance, the basic templates that it comes with all sorts of demographic fields already set up, ready to go. And you can add in things like, where did this lead come from, and how many times have they bought from me, and did I like working with them, that sort of information.
If you're using another CRM system, can you transfer it in?
I believe you can. I would not have the first clue how to do it.
Okay.
I know that there's Salesforce consultants that...
Okay.
Yeah. I know you can do basic things like import and export from Outlook. Like if you use Outlook, you can import all of your Outlook data pretty easily. But if you're switching from something like Act,
This
I'm
is
not
what
sure.
I use, yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
As a database, does Google Apps have a database tool?
They have, it's so rudimentary it's not even worth mentioning.
Okay,
They have
so-
Google Contacts, basically. But it captures just the very basic information.
Okay.
So I was going to say, on Salesforce.com, they have invoicing, all kinds of stuff that you can just plug in.
Yeah.
But I actually went to the convention recently that was here, and they have all kinds of crazy stuff like constant contact type applications or SurveyMonkey type applications that are being built in, or even Facebook.
Yeah, I
or
mean,
Twitter,
this is
but
one
all
of the
that
nice
stuff
things
is
about
like-
these big
it's like
companies
crazy.
is that
Yeah.
Salesforce has its own programming platform.
Yeah, exactly.
And it has its own, basically, app store called the App Exchange, with all of these different tools that you can buy, which cost money, that hook into Salesforce to provide additional functionality as they relate to how you work with your clients. So there's things like invoicing or email or more sales types things, but it's all about how you relate with your clients. And this edition, the basic edition, doesn't let you do any of that. So that's one of the things to keep in mind. As you upgrade to the more expensive editions, that's when they let you buy apps to hook into it.
Can this integrate with a bulk mail like Loop Mail?
It integrates with some. You'd have to go into the App Exchange, which is part of the Salesforce.com website, and look to see if the emailer that you use offers a module for Salesforce. Then you would need to purchase the edition of Salesforce that lets you use that module. So it's not one size fits all. They've definitely stripped out features in the lower end versions. But if you're looking to do just basic contact management and keep track of like your sales and who you talk to and when, the basic edition will suit you just fine. So this is what it looks like. Not the prettiest thing, but super effective. This is a basic client record. So this is the client, blurred out for privacy. These are some of the activities that it had with it. It's hard for you to read this, but I'll read it to you. These are some of the emails that went back and forth. This is a session that I had with them. Here's another couple of emails, another session. And so within if you click on this, there's detailed records. You'll actually see the email itself. If you click on the session notes, it has whatever I typed into it about what we did that day. So for me, I want to know what I've done with the client in case I don't see them for a couple months. I'm not going to keep all that information in my head. I can just go back to Salesforce, click on their link, and see everything that's gone on with them. This is a list of leads. So in Salesforce, you can track leads, people you haven't yet worked with. And you can see, oh, when did I last talk with them? What's their contact information? What's their status? Are they getting a little bit warmer? Or are they completely cold? And this is a report. I think this report is activity that I haven't worked with these clients or talked with them in the past quarter. So this is a really like 2-click report to run. And this lets me know I've got some work to do here. So that's Salesforce in a nutshell. There's a lot there. It's a really big application, but it can be as small as you want to make it. Yes?
Doesn't Outlook have a lot of these features too that you can track?
Okay, so here's the deal with Outlook. I love Outlook. For a long time, I was like Outlook crack addict. But I tried this handy new thing that Microsoft came out with called Business Contact Manager, which purported to do a lot of this. It was basically like an Act clone. It was terrible, awful, horrible, bad. Really, really clunky tool. Microsoft, they try to do things, but they don't like give it their full effort sometimes. And this was one of those tools. Outlook can do a very rudimentary type of this. You can certainly take notes and put them inside the contact field if you want to, but it doesn't let you easily generate reports. It doesn't automatically track the emails that have gone back and forth for a particular client. So, yes and no.
Okay.
I would say if you're thinking about Business Contact Manager, don't. Try something else. Yes.
So if you wanted to set up Salesforce, but if you go to the Salesforce website, they're going to direct you towards the larger, more beefy.
No,
No?
they show you the different editions,
I see.
and you can sign up for whichever one
You
you'd
can
like.
get all that for $5.
$5 a month.
Amazing.
Bargain of the century. Okay, I want to move on. Basecamp. Basecamp is a super awesome tool for collaborating with other people. Do we have some fans? Okay, Basecamp is great if, especially you're working with people outside of your domain, and you want to share things like documents or to-dos back and forth. If you're working on a big project and there's lots of pieces, maybe you've got multiple to-dos, you've got some milestones, you have some notes from calls that you've had together, you have some documents that you're sharing. Those things would typically, if you don't have something like this, be sent around via email. And that's when things start taking a turn for the worse. Because it's hard to keep track of email. And it's hard to keep track of the attachments that are in there and the to-dos that are in there. So much better if you can centralize everything in one place. And that's what Basecamp does. It's essentially a giant project management tool with a very pretty face on it. Easy to use face. So with it, you can manage all of your to-dos for just yourself. You could use it on your own if you wanted to. Or for your team, you can assign different people different to-dos. You can also do things like communicate changes to a client's project. Sydney and I work together, and we share Basecamp. And any changes that we have back and forth, we communicate within the world of Basecamp so that we can see the entire flow of conversation without having to go back to our email and look for something. It's super nice. And it's great if you're working with an outside consultant because, again, you may not want to add them into your domain, but you might want to share documents and other such things with them. Basecamp is probably the most expensive of the tools that we're looking at tonight. It's $24 a month for the most basic plan.
Per user.
I'm sorry?
Per user.
Per user, yes. So if you have multiple users, it does cost more.
Actually, the $24 a month isn't per user.
Is it for 5 users?
It's for 15 projects and 25 users, I believe. But it's not per user, it's one fee. And I use it for all of my clients, like Josh said. So it's not a per person.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the clarification.
I thought it was free. Don't they have a free
Not
version?
anymore.
Oh, they used to.
I believe when they first started for a while, they had a limited version.
When I was working in my company.
Yeah, no longer.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of these tools that you might see up here, a lot of them started out as free or had stripped down free editions, and I think a lot of them, because they want to make money, stop doing that. Yes?
I'm curious about, you say that you use Basecamp when you're working on a project with somebody. How does that integrate with Salesforce?
That doesn't integrate with Salesforce. That's totally separate.
So then you've got half your emails in Basecamp and half in Salesforce.
Totally different. And thank you for helping me clarify this. Salesforce is really great for emails that you send back and forth with clients, not necessarily with vendors or people you're collaborating with. Basecamp is totally different. It's really about a specific project or set of projects. And it's not really email. It's just like little messages, short messages back and forth that you can send each other inside of Basecamp. You can be notified about them via your email if you want, or you can turn that feature off, and you can just log into Basecamp when you want to check those messages. So they don't really integrate together. They serve two different purposes. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Sorry for any confusion.